cold one out there. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Kyle O'Hare. I'm a horror critic. I just got back from a funeral. And by funeral I mean a family reunion. It's a pretty nasty family reunion because we just got back from burying my cousin Alucard. But, you know, we beg to differ from that. Anyway, today I have something special for you in store. And that something is what I do best. A horror review just for you. Never mind that. Today, we're going to start off strong. By starting the video like this. I'm the horror critic, and insert your random catchphrase here. There are at least 3 movies with this title. And this title is Night of the Demon. Now, the first one was in the 1950s. 1957, I want to say. Where the first one came out of Britain. It was called Curse of the Demon. Now, whenever it got an international release, it was translated to Night of the Demon. It was about this detective searching around for this demonic entity that is doing some, well, what else? Demonic entity-based stuff. And then, in the 80s, we got this movie, this little-known movie, and Night of the Demons, with an S at the end, in 1988, which is now considered a cult classic. And what's not to love about it? It is one of my favorite lines in the entirety of horror history.
Eat a bowl of fuck!
This film also spawned 2 sequels and a shitty remake with the foreign exchange student from American Pie. Yes, that's right, Shannon Elizabeth. Anyway, going on with this, let's get to the review. The film opens up with a man in a hospital bed. He's injured with a mask over his face. Well, it looks like this film has already started to take its toll. He explains that something in the woods attacked him via flashback to someone else. Who is he? Does it really matter? No. And that's never explained. We don't know who the hell it is. All we know is that he's just a random person being stalked by some demonic entity with predator vision. And then this random man next to a tent gets attacked by... That's not a demon. I'm pretty sure that that's not a demon. That's a myriad of different things. A Wookiee, a Furby, a llama, my Uncle Harry, that homeless guy that I found on the street next to the Quick Start. All those are what it could possibly be. Except for one. That is not a demon. That is Bigfoot. I'm pretty sure we're all on accord that Bigfoot is not a demon. Pretty sure Bigfoot is not a demon. At most, an SCP, but not a demon.
Are you sure about that?
Never seen a title. Lie to me. So the Wookiee of Beelzebub gives the man a handshake when the man decides to declare rape. Holy shit! Bigfoot didn't even kill him. He moved ever so slightly forward and ripped his own arm off himself. Then we get a song that sounds like it came from, you know, those old safety videos showed in schools. I find it ironic that a man who is the director of art on this film's last name is Gooch. I also find it equally ironic that a man whose last name is Ball is the director of this film. Ball and Gooch, I feel like it's trying to tell us something here. So we enter a classroom and a home video by Henry Lee Lucas is playing. This causes the class to discuss the demon in the video. My apologies. I mean Sasquatch. One of our main antagonists, I'm not going to call them protagonists considering the fact that they are the farthest thing from protagonists. Discuss an incident about a couple at Camp Bigfoot Lake, getting it on till Bigfoot sexually assaults the man. Wow, I'm beginning to think Bigfoot is now an activist. He does this all while discount Dolly Parton watches on. And she watches for a long time. I counted it. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. A little too much to watch someone die. Although it does make me beg to wonder if she was watching him from 9 to 5. We enter back to the main section via iPortal, where the teacher gets into a fight with his wife while fucking because he wants to chase Bigfoot. I mean, I'm on the wife's side with this, considering the fact that any guy wanting to chase Bigfoot over fucking is clinically insane. Next day, him and his team go find Bigfoot while hippie porn music plays. They go knocking on houses for an answer to the demonic disappearances, but get no replies. They set up camp and wait till morning for Farmer Vincent to tell what happened. After that, all of a sudden, we see a random nobody sleeping in a burn pile in a sleeping bag. Then Pazuzu's nutsack came out of nowhere and tossed a sleeping bag boy a la Jason Voorhees into... You're gonna be fucking kidding me. That is a fucking twig. A fucking twig. It's a fucking twig that impales him. I don't think I need to add anymore. Jesus Christ, this is like deaths you would see on an episode of 1000 Ways to Die. By the way, I love his girly scream, although I prefer this one. Or this one. Back at the campsite, we see random victim number 4 walking into the cabin to get cozy. Either that, or he is secretly attracted to wrinkly Roddy McDowell farmer. Let's see. Next morning, our victims... Oh, I am sorry. Our heroes... go to town to ask around. But Hal Holbrook refuses to give away anything. I guess the townsfolk really don't want to deal with, people coming around as if it was the Blair Witch Project. Can't say I blame them. Picturesque view of the lake. Over on 3 Mile Island, the crew come into contact with Bigfoot territory. How do I know this? They tell us. So Professor Exposition, a little late for this, calls to tell a story of... What else? More murders! Come on. I like murders as much as the next person. Add them all up. I like them. The first one is a motorcycle rider. He stops to take a piss off on the side of the road, but Bigfoot, via keytar sound, comes out of nowhere to rip his dick off. Whoa, what the fuck, man? The man's just trying to take a piss. Can't you just leave him alone? I'm sorry, but I don't think he wants a hairy handjob for Faye Reagan's wannabe cover-up. Are you sure Eve Ensler, a known feminist and activist, didn't write this one and direct it? Because I'm beginning to think it was secretly all her idea. Well, sadly, the biker bleeds steam on his motorcycle and then dies. This film makes me see why John Hinckley Jr. tried to kill fucking Reagan for Jodie Foster. I can see why this would be one of those brainwashing films. I mean, it kind of comes off with like that, like the feel like, I don't know, killing Kirk Douglas with a glass cutter while reciting the lyrics to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and reading a copy of Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince backwards. What happened? Back at the camp at night, victim number 4 and Professor stumbles. Well, they stumble onto something. This film was fucking directed by Jim Jones, produced by Charles Manson, and written by the combined team of Marshall Applewhite and David Koresh. Really? A fucking cult in this movie? Is there a cult fucking culture called the Satanic Rites of our Lord and Savior Bigfoot, and I didn't know about it? Because if so, where do I sign up to join?
What the hell's going on? Just a little country entertainment.
Country entertainment? You know, just a little rape, a little sacrifice. Cults are a thing in the country. Thought you knew that. I'm surprised this is the first time somebody's brought it up and nobody's actually complained. Did they take catering lessons from the fucking Westboro Baptist Church? I mean, honestly. So the satanic predator starts stalking them again, as all of a sudden, a hairy hand bursts through the tent and strangles someone. He looks like the professor, but it really isn't him, because they prove it. You know, at first I thought it was a cameo of Ron Jeremy, but no, it just ends up being a bad dream by his dumbass wife. Pointless. I hope I don't get sued by the Nostalgia Critic for that. Guys, shh. Oh no. A serious scene. Okay. What's wrong?
The boat's gone!
Oh no! No! The boat is gone. And they think Bigfoot took it. Well, however are we gonna live knowing that Bigfoot kayaks?
Wanda! Wanda!
What the hell lame ass scream was that? I mean, that was pitiful. I can scream Wanda better than that. Wanda! See? Sounds a lot better than that. Another tense scene? Blow me. So, two of the crew make love while Snuffleupagus decides to make a lonely island three-way. So he scratches the one guy's back, or smears Smucker's jam on his back. Because Bigfoot be kinky? After all, with a name like Schmuckers, it's gotta be kinky. They finally reach the cabin of Wanda. But she keeps people away by, pulling a one-slayer. Actually, she lets them in via kids' party music. Okay. I'm not even gonna critique that. I'm just gonna let it be. Because there's no point. I'm beginning to think that this film has literally no point to it at all. Which I know is a fucking facade. Because no film is ever made without having a point. Come on, all films have a point, right? Why else would you make them if they didn't have a point? More late camping talk? Does it come with discount murder?
No doubt we're in the same territory where hunters disappear and people are killed. It wasn't far from here where the body of a woodsman was found.
Ding, 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 ding! Woohoo! 10 points for Gryffindor! Ugh. We see Brawny Man, Ron Howard, chopping wood. Then the pigeons from Finding Nemo harmonize their mourns to screeching success, and Bigfoot axes this jackass off. Number one, that was the shoulder. An axe to the shoulder will not kill somebody. That's going to cause a major injury, but just a random axe wound to the shoulder. Just chop, and it's there. That doesn't kill anyone. Hurts like hell. Does not kill. And two, he has worse spasms than a stroke victim. Literally, getting axed in the shoulder if you do bleed out to death. While you're dying, you don't create a vacuum of spasms that look worse than a stroke victim's or even a heart attack patient's. The big payoff is when he axes him in the head to a woodpecker sound. Now this next scene I am very, very critical of. Okay? I gotta get my composure for this. Two Girl Scouts. I can already hear the laughing right now. Two Girl Scouts are lost in Bigfoot woods. For my Happy Wheels fans out there you go. Give me 5. If you touch the screen, you're fucking psychotic. They are walking with knives. Okay, first off, what Girl Scouts nowadays have knives? Or second of all, why are they in the woods? I don't think Girl Scouts actually go in the woods nowadays. If they do, correct me. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure all they do is sell their... I'm sorry. All they do is peddle their fucking Girl Scout cookies. That's all I know. At shopping malls or next to Targets. Get chased by Satan's Wookiee as he finds them Then get this. This is how he kills them. He grabs them with each arm, the ones that are holding the knives, and forces them to stab each other to death. I wish I could stop, but I can't right now. I'm just flabbergasted that this is a real thing. What the fuck did I watch? I'm not even kidding. I really don't know what I just watched, and I want to know. This is a fucking scene of epic awfulness. No. Let me build it up. This is more epic than the "no, not the beast" scene from, The Wicker Man, or "no, what?" from The Happening, and the pantheon of awful. Thy name is Girl Scout stabby scene.
Their bodies were found a few days later. But there was no trace of the thing that killed him.
No trace? What do you mean, no trace? I'm sure if I looked at the Patterson film right now, I could find the bodies. Look, there's the bodies. There's the bodies right there. Oh my god. So wannabe David Cassidy spots a tombstone just as the red eye of Sauron catches him and slams his head into a tree. Seriously, a bump on the noggin and that kills him? I've taken worse bumps than that. Watch. That's what happened to him. I took it. I'm not even bleeding. See? Not even bleeding. Also, what was that spot, over his head where it was smashed? What was that spot? Was that a red spot? Who edited this? Evil Ed?
Wrong.
Hey, where are you?
He was killed by a Mario paint filter. Oh no! The Giving Tree is a female. So Mr. I can't believe he is a fucking professor decides to hypnotize Wanda with a fucking key. Seriously, a key? Hypnotizing somebody with a key. Anybody have keys on them? I mean, does that work? If keys works, then maybe my pin here can work. No, it doesn't work. I remember the time I visited Ed Gein's house. It was glorious. What, we are back to the fucking key again? It doesn't work. We've tried it before. It obviously doesn't.
She's under.
Strike that, I take that back.
Now I want you to remember a long time ago when you were just a young girl. When you were about 15 years old.
What, she isn't 15 already? I'm pretty sure she still looks 15. If you're saying she's not 15, make her look older, because she looks 15 still. So Fred Phelps abuses her with stereotypical Christian faith.
I'm saving your soul, you ungrateful bitch.
I'm sorry, I just like that line because that delivery is just funny. Did Bigfoot silently jump from the fucking roof? Okay, this whole scene is awkward, but I'm gonna go through it as many details as I can. First off, it appears she watches for a good long while before running. Second, that is not your scream. Third, Bigfoot is a wacky waving inflatable arm waving tube man. Fourth, who thought it was okay to have Bigfoot rape a kid? I mean, he isn't. Insert your celebrity pick for sexual predator here. Fifthly, her father just idly watches as some demon, Emperor Cusco, rapes his daughter. Sixth, Bigfoot's O-face. Seventh, the lame attempt to finally save her. And finally, eighth, having her get pregnant and give birth to Harry Henderson's fucking kid. All amounts to the worst thing in a movie ever. In a movie I've ever seen. So after that uncomfortable scene, we get another one equally uncomfortable as they claim she is lying. Namely, someone coming out saying that they got raped by Bigfoot would be on the level of crazy. I wouldn't believe it either, But in the context of what you've already had prior incidents of a demonic creature that looks like Bigfoot already attacking people in the woods, and then you hear this to confirm that there is said creature in the woods, plus you have an injured man attacked by said creature in that house, I'm pretty sure the words, "I think she's lying," should not come out of your mouth. Finally, after realizing the truth, fucking finally, Bigfoot comes to kill them all. Thank you, Bigfoot. Thank you. There is a God. Bigfoot, kill them, please. He stalks the house for a good long while before Satan's Furby breaks in, and after scaring the campers, like in a slasher movie, "Hey, look, there's your proof. He's dead. Haha, I told you he's dead now. Ha." Finally, he enters the house, and he stalks them for a good long while before he strangles one of the girls who fails to get into the room to barricade herself. Another good thing. Bigfoot kills with his bare hands. That's how Bigfoot would kill. That's how it should be done. No complaints. Bigfoot pushes through the barricade finally and rips out a man's intestines. Oh, what? Holy shit! And you're doing a tribal dance with it too. Classy. What is this? The tribal dance of the sugar-flayed intestines. Another man gets his throat slit on broken glass. Final girl gets a pitchfork in her ass. The professor survives, but gets Dairy Queen injuries. Should have listened to Canada. We end with the professor back in the hospital. And like most in real life, the people that are watching him don't believe him. The film ends on a cheery note, though. He's found criminally insane, and music from the ending of Super Mario Bros. 2 plays before. Look, here's the similarities. That scene. Now, Super Mario Bros. 2 thing. Or you hear the soothing sounds of roars of Bigfoot. So, is the movie really as bad as I make it out to sound? Yeah, it's god-awful. Now, the good thing about this film is the deaths. Sure, they're wacky and over-the-top, but that's what the horror genre gives best. Wacky and over-the-top deaths that everyone likes. People being killed by, a twig with a sleeping bag. People being hit with a pitchfork, an axe to the shoulder. The Girl Scout scene, by far, while it's awful and ridiculous, still is fun to watch. But the thing about these deaths is while they are fun and lavish to look at sometimes, they do drag on. They go on forever, and they actually do overdo it with the music and the actual looks back and forth from the victim to the witnesses or whatnot. It drags on, and we don't want to see that. Now with the characters, all of them are boring. The only ones that are fun to watch are Wanda and her dad. And even Bigfoot's kind of boring. There's not really much to do, except for the wacky weaving inflatable arm waving tube man thing he does, and his ridiculous old face. Not that entertaining. Plus, the story itself is all over the place. There's pointless deaths that don't need to be there. All around, the film is kind of pointless. Who would make a film like this and try to come up with a good idea? On paper, it sounds like a good idea, but do nothing with it to make it good. So that's my review of Night of the Demon. Now you've seen it, and now I give you a hint for the next episode. 2 hints, actually. The first hint is, this is one of the last films that Ryan Dunn did before he passed away, and the other hint is, this title of the film actually ties into one of the characters that is mostly famous for being in an Alfred Hitchcock movie, which so happens to be one of his famous films. If you can remember that, and you can figure it out, I'll see you next time for the next review. I'm the Horror Critic, and I will be seeing you when you least expect it.